Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. Whenever anyone gets here. But I set the stream up with about 5 minutes to spare, so so yes, welcome. A week of interesting weather in the UK. I hope no one's had too many issues. It's been rather Baltic. Howdy, Sammy. Well, sometimes it pays to be curious. Basically, we've had a week of ice and sub-zero freezing conditions all week, so yay! Start the new year as we finish the old one. And overnight, apparently lots of snow everywhere, just not here. We had a very small amount, barely enough to cover the ground. So literally by the time I got up and Mary went, it snowed, I looked outside and it was like, did it? Oh, there's a little bit left. Oh yeah, I think I see some in the corner of one of the herb tubs. 50 degree here. Everybody's suffering. I'm assuming you're meaning 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is plenty warm enough. Yeah, 50 degrees Fahrenheit would be good. What we've been at lately, last few days, it's been around, what's freezing point? It's 20 something, isn't it? So yeah, the most it's got over the last few days is a couple of degrees above freezing. And then today it decided to warm up. It snowed overnight and then it got warm again today. Back to freezing again tomorrow though, so joy. But hey, at least I've got a couple more days off work, so water changes and then chory stuff. I did order a card reader so I can actually upload videos via new laptop. And I ordered a mouse so I don't have to keep using trackpads. A wireless mouse. Ooh. 8. Yeah, 8 is what it's been today, which to me is shorts and t-shirt temperature. Your weird temperature range. You do realise the US is the only country on the planet that still uses Fahrenheit. Literally the rest of the planet uses Celsius. Or centigrade, same thing, really. Unless you want to really freak people out, then you use Kelvin. Because 0 degrees Kelvin, which is absolute zero, is minus 273 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so you got normal winter weather. And everyone's like, oh, it's horrible, it's cold, I hate it. And then there's me walking around in shorts and t-shirt again. I'm weird. Slightly inconvenienced by the rain. Howdy, Andrew. I hope the snerr is not too bad up your way. Oh, pardon me. It's pretty windy down here. That might be why there's no snow. I might have melted it. Um, uh, I'll delete this message. But I bet any Australian complain about the weather. They always complain. You're 8 inches. I mean, I'm not going to go there that early in the stream. Yeah, but it's always bloody hot and horrible in Australia. Why do you think we sent all the convicts over there to get rid of them? You know, we sent the religious nutcases to America and we sent the criminals to Australia. We got rid of the people we didn't want. We sent them to another continent. Yeah. Just so happens that we sent the convicts to the one where all the animals want to kill you. Oh, thank you, Donna. Hug back. Without pipe smoke. Yeah, it's been a... Oh, we're getting hearties. Yeah, so it's been an interesting week. Monday and Tuesday were crazy busy at work. And Wednesday we were shut, obviously. And Thursday, Friday were completely dead. Don't know how yesterday was because I was off. I don't say I was off. Doing all the jobs around the house that I hadn't got around to doing over the Christmas break. I did just remember to file my US and ERA tax returns. It was Monday evening, was it? Yeah, it was Monday evening I did those. So we sorted for those. And yes, as a YouTuber, yes, have a US and Republic of Ireland tax returns to do. Doesn't take long because I don't earn enough money and I don't do any of the work in those countries and I don't live in those countries, so I don't pay any tax in those countries, but has to be done. And yes, I did click the box that says I want the paperwork. I don't want it electronically. I want you to send me the paperwork, Mr. Government person. Which means they get to pay to send it all the way. Well, Ireland gets to send it across a small sea, and America gets to send it across an ocean. It can cost a fortune. Take that, Donald and Elon. A teacher for trying to get involved in British politics. Nut and Kurt, howdle doodle, something like that. I hope you're diddling okay. I'm vaguely human as usual. I think what. See, yeah, what would work? I didn't really get up to a huge amount this week, other than trying to stay warm. Elon Musk is our new first lady. He's basically the puppeteer for Donald, and then whoever's puppeteering Elon is the one that's really in charge. So, Happy New Year, I guess, to everyone. Seems a bit late to say it, but I don't celebrate New Year because it's just another day. Nothing spectacular has happened. balmy 21 degrees and freezing rain. So you pretty much got the same weather we've had the last week. Except Andrew apparently has had 8 inches today. Of snow, that is, not anything perverse. Yes. Worse things happen at sea. It's Marriott, my darling, how the devil are you? Massive huggles and a smooch as well. Yeah. So and then there's us complaining about it being a bit chilly and a bit of snow, and then there's Marriott in Norway. Oh dear. Yeah. So about with everything being closed and being inconvenienced by not getting mail. Did I just try not to order anything to have it that would be delivered on that day? Actually, what did I do New Year's Day? Got up and popped the Sainsbury's to get a few bits because all the sort of bigger shops are open. Yeah. Then I had a 4-hour nap, and I just chilled basically. It was quite a nice day. Yeah, just chilled and listened to music. Miss you, Marriott. Yeah, I think we can go one day without getting mail. Although it seems my family have completely, forgotten that I exist now, which I'm quite happy about because I didn't even get a card or anything from anybody this year. Ones behind me are from, let's go from that way, Adam, Mary, Nadine, Latte Bunny, and my neighbour, and the dogs and cats, dog and cats. Haven't checked my mail in a couple of months. Yeah, that's the thing. You see, we have it sorted so that they actually put the mail through your door. And you have a flap in the door, and they put the mail through it. Everything's paperless. Yeah, there is that. So now you just have to remember to check your emails, see what random bill you've got to pay next. I mean, technically, I have a mailbox, I suppose. That's only because all the delivery peeps and the postie know me well. So if it's too big to go through the letterbox, they just stick it in my shed. I don't even bother trying to get hold of a neighbour. I just put it straight in my shed. I've actually had it before where I've had a delivery at home. Then the same delivery guy has come to where I work to deliver and gone, "Oh yeah, I left your parcel in your shed, mate." If I'd have known, I'd have brought it with me. Cheers, I don't really want to be carrying that all the way home. I've had that happen before where I've ordered something online to be delivered to work. it's turned up at work and it's been like, oh crap, how am I going to get that home? When you order something and it's bigger than you expected, rather than the opposite usually. How's the weather? Warm and wet here today. Been freezing all week. Then apparently the rest of the UK's had a load of snow, but we didn't in Norfolk. So I'm guessing it's not come from your direction, because otherwise we would have got it first. I'm guessing you've got a lot of snow and it's very, very cold in Oslo. Oh, pardon me. Wouldn't surprise me. Having to break out the proper winter coat and the woolly hat and the scarf and the gloves and the boots, the thermals, and I've got all that stuff. I just never wear it because it doesn't get cold enough for me to need to wear it in the UK anymore. Especially not now I don't go fishing this time of year. I don't go fishing at all, but I've gone fishing in the past and had to break the ice on the lake so I could fish it. Just got the cold and the snow. It was a green holiday. Yeah, I mean, I know very few children got bikes for Christmas this year because it didn't rain Christmas Day. Usually, in my experience as a child, when I got a new bike, it always rained Christmas, so I couldn't actually go out and ride it. Which is kind of annoying because it was your main present and you got very little else. Snow is -12. Yeah, I don't know what that is in Eagle football field units. I've actually got a thermometer that goes down low enough, I don't think. What does that go down with? It only goes down to 19, so what? Yeah. -12. Bloody cold. It's the kind of cold where you go outside and you take a pee and it freezes before it hits the ground almost. And that is one of the things I want to do. Weird as it sounds, but this is me. I can you never know the weather. Yeah, pretty much like the UK. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee grey and drizzly at some point, but yeah. One of my bucket list things is to take a pee outside and for it to freeze before it hits the ground. It's like that one that they do in northern Canada and Alaska when it gets really cold and they throw the hot water up in the air over their head and it comes down as snow. It's just that cold it freezes on the way up and down. No, thank you. Yeah, it's. I mean, thing is, I just don't get it why everyone seems to be surprised. Every winter there's some cold weather and people are surprised that it's cold in winter. That there might be ice or snow or wind. You know, really, it's winter. It's not summer. You should be expecting this. And now we have to put not just weather warnings. There was apparently an amber health warning as well because it's cold, and you might slip over in the ice or something like that. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention. Did make me laugh when I went to do the shopping yesterday. There's people walking like penguins, sort of shuffling because it's a little bit icy. And there's me on my bike. What? It's not that slidey. On on a bike on slick tyres. I'm like, seriously? Why are you walking like that? It's not that slippery. It's like they forget how to walk on ice over there. Global warming doesn't exist because it got cold yesterday. Yeah, that's the way certain people will spin it. The fact that some of us still remember when our winters were cold, and we would regularly get lots of snow, 2 foot of snow overnight, and it stick around for a week. Then -10, -15 degrees. That was a normal thing. The weather and climate, aren't they? Yeah, they're not. Funny that. Well, I suspect trying to explain that to certain people will be like trying to explain that weight and mass are 2 different things, even though they're measured the same. Yeah, funny. And I remember hot summers being mid to high 20s, not mid to high 30s. Howdy, Jeff. How the devil art thou? Weather is a weird thing. And the fact that you can look back on a life of less than 50 years and go, yeah, it's definitely changed. The overall climate has definitely changed. It's definitely warmer than it was. Ornery. Ornery is a good way to be, Jeff. I can thoroughly sympathise with being ornery. What's new with the fishies? Not a huge amount lately, to be honest. I've not really got any new ones. I think the last new fishies I got were the cherry barbs and the Amicus splendens. The splendens are quite happily doing breedies. Cherry barb eggs are all getting eaten by the yo-yo loach. Yes, I had to split the yo-yo loaches up because they were getting, well, the yo-yo loach is now in that tank and clearing the snailies out of there. Got to the point where it was going to be starting to eat pleco eggs, which is when the loaches come out of the tanks. And once I'm pretty much satisfied that there aren't no more snailies left in the tank with, well, there's literally just the cherry barbs and a pair of super reds at the moment. Then that loach will come out and we'll gradually go through and desnailify the rack. Or some of it anyway. At least get the numbers down a bit because it gets ridiculous. But yes, so breeding the super reds again. Got a female that finally got big enough to start laying eggs. The Pelvicochromis thobothalatath, they died of old age, basically. The Nanacara are still Nanacara in, the Akara in, Limia are going nuts, Bristleys are going nuts. Shillies have stopped breeding, so it's just a matter of time before we move those on. Just sorry, Shellys, but you've done your bit. Might get some Maltese instead or a different flavour, but we'll see how we go. Jeffy, yes. Oh god, I think I've stuck the seat a bit too close. Yeah, I've got some plans coming up for this year for what I want to do, new fishies wise, but it's a case of finding the fish and oh, pardon me, that generally just happens by wandering into a fish store and going, oh, they've got them, and getting them. Oh, yeah, Loachie's back to glass surfing again. Weird creature. So yeah, we're at the point where I wanna be keeping one of the fry tanks clear, so I can use it as a quarantine tank for new fisheries. That's why I'm trying to keep that one empty. I mean, if I need to, I can just pull the loach out and chuck him in the bottom tank again. There's still a few snails left in there, and it's not going to hurt the bristle noses that are in there. If anything, the bristle noses will beat up the loach. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do with the shelly tank once I move the shellies on. Obviously, clean it out, take out a vast amount of the sand that's in there because the sand is ridiculously deep. De-algify it, and then see where we go from there. Is a hillstream loach just a pleco with a skirt? Not far off. I think there's a a cold water pleco with a skirt that you tend to have to catch with a credit card because they sucker themselves onto the glass so hard that you can't get them off any other way. Plecos can suck on pretty firm. I mean, I did have some hillstream loaches. They didn't last very long though. I even forget what tank they were in. I don't think they even made it out of quarantine. Which is why we quarantine fish, because you don't know if they're sick when you get them. And I'd rather they died in a quarantine tank than died of something in a display tank and gave everything else something nasty. Because I don't want to be dealing with columnaris again or camelanus again. There are a couple of things I'm tempted by, which is some red lizard whiptails, which are just stretched plecos, so, or some of the blue crayfish, but they get very aggressive and destroy everything in the tank, including each other. Yeah, a whole bunch of hard ash on the top of my pipe. Why it's not staying alight for more than 2 seconds. That's got it. I'll figure something out. Preferably something I can breed and make more of and sell. What else are we going to do? Yeah, so other than that, it's some Corys for the tank with the Amica Splendens, and still looking to see if I can find a female lemon blue eye, and then a pair of dwarf chiclets to go in with Fred and Rose and the cherry barbs. Be nice if I could find some dwarf chiclets that are red. So maybe some more opistogrammas. Cacatoides. Or the Agassizii. Push pineapple, shake a tree. Oh, that's the problem with the Agassizii. You got one less tank now. Oh no. Did you shut it down, or was there a problem? Did it spring a leak? Or did he just say, F it, I don't want to be looking after that many tanks anymore? A big problem. That's either a very, very nasty disease, or the tank broke, or the filter broke. One or the other. As long as you didn't have to clear up hundreds of litres of water off the floor. Oh, yeah, I mean, that one down there has got a slight seep to it, which is why I run it fairly low. Thankfully, there's just some snails and shrimp in there. It's like the water capillary actions up the seals and then comes over the edge and ends up around the rim at the bottom, or there's a leak at the bottom. I saw it before. It was 180 litres all over the floor. Phew. Geez, 180 litre tank. Yeah, I don't blame you for not replacing that one, but it is a lot less work. Hopefully you had somewhere to put all your fisheries though. Yeah, this is the only issue with smoking a pipe, is the massive clouds of smoke you produce. After 2 weeks in deep depression, oh, well, at least you saved something. Yeah. You know, I know about the depressions. Thankfully, and I wasn't even too bad over this Christmas this year. And my 400 litre is full of plants. Yes. Proper jungle tank. So you can't actually see what's going on in there. And you just happen to look one day and you go, what the heck? Oh, someone had babies. I didn't realise I had any of them left. Generally, what happens with me and the Corys in there. I know there's Corys in there because I do see them, but every so often I'll see a small one skitting about, and I'm like, oh, we have baby Corys. As long as that awkward bugger don't decide to try and eat any of them anymore. Because that was the last major thing I had to do. Retrieve a Cory out of his mouth. They got stuck. So yes, we had to do minor surgery on an Akara to save it. Cory was already dead, so that wasn't a problem. Well, it was dead by the time I got to it anyway. Oh, are you sending me a picture of your fishy tank? Let's go have a look. Is it safe for me to look? Oh dear, it's going to grab me a welly phone. Oh, getting caught up on my chair. Hurt. Yeah. Oh yes, very full. Very full of appliances. Let's see if we can get it to actually. Come on. Come on. No. Come on. No, we're not going to do the flippy. Oh, great. Hand camera's decided to go all blurry again. Let's see if we can get the. Somewhere around there. That's Marit's tank now. Internet safe pictures. What on earth's going on? And now I need to get out of the shot for the camera to regain its focus, don't I? Because I may have a new laptop, but the camera still doesn't like to focus. Come on. There we go. $400 Anubias, yes, lots of Anubias. I have lots of Anubias too. Yeah, I'm going to have to start trimming that again soon because it's starting to take over the tanks. The one in the 62 litre is basically the size of the tank now. But yeah, that's the other thing is I have a new laptop now as well. So yay. It doesn't take longer to start the laptop up than it does to do the stream. Let's move the phone. Well, I'm not going to stand on it. Very pretty looking tank, Marit. Thank you very much. I don't think what else I've been up to this week. Yeah, really not a lot. There's a sci-fi audio book type thing series that I've been starting to watch, listen to. It's kind of comedy, satire, where basically there's like the Galactic Federation and humans have just been discovered or discovered it. Liked it better on blurry. Yeah, now I look really old, don't I, Sam? All the scars and the bits of white face fuzz are showing up. Yeah, literally the only bits of it that are dark now are around there and a bit of moustache. The rest of it's basically white. Tank of desperation. Oh, bless you. Well, I know you'll get it all figured out and sorted and everything happy and doing well again. Main thing is that you are. Oh, while I remember. Fist bump. Do I smoke more on my pipe or do I? No, let's have a ciggy. And yeah, I'll say that is the other new change. I do pipey now, and the looks you get. Problems with your back again. Oh dear. I mean, I understand why. A couple of very good reasons why. But yeah, it can't be nice. I've had my share of back issues. When you're young, you think, that'll be all right, that'll be fine. And as you get older and you start having back issues, you realise it affects everything. You can't get comfortable sitting down, you can't get comfortable laying down, you can't lift or move anything. Burp. Legs, the mood. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, and touch wood, I've been fairly healthy recently, so the only real pain issues, anything I've had this year, well, when I got back from cycling the Peddars Way, which I was expecting, cycling 103 miles in a day and a half, I was expecting to be in pain after that, and I was. Just not where I was expecting to be in pain. I was expecting it to be my legs and my backside, but it wasn't. It was mostly my arms. Strange. But that was because of the absolute death grip I had on the bars for about a quarter of the way there. Mental note and piece of advice. When a guy on a mountain bike says that the bit that you're coming up to is too rough for a mountain bike, don't go on it with a hybrid with road tyres. I'm also not used to hills either, and that didn't help, and carrying God knows how much extra weight on the bike. But then I was quite proud of myself because the people on the mountain bikes saying, don't go down there, don't go down there. People on proper dirt bikes, motorbikes, they were having troubles, and I managed to cycle through it on as I said, a hybrid with road tyres on it, and I only had one minor fall, which I didn't even fall over. No, it was just muscle pain and sleep that I needed after that. But yeah, 3 days and I was fine again. But yeah, as I say, I cycled 67 miles on the first day and camped overnight. Well, I say camped. I slept for about 2 hours and cycled back the next day, the rest of the way, the other 36 miles. Getting very, very close to running out of drink at a couple of points, and then made it home and collapsed, basically. I've had enough bad luck that I deserve some good luck in my life. And the fact that when I set up camp, there were no wild animals around at all. But then by like God, the muntjac deer were barking until about 12:30 in the morning. And then the pheasants started up at about 3:30. Mary's doing well, thank you very much. Yep, she's still at her job. Wobbles improved, so she's not as wobbly as she was. Kids are healthy and happy. Nadine's mouldy as always, but you know, yeah, everything seems to be going kind of okay, and I still enjoy my job. Very weird, I know. Despite the fact that we've changed managers a few times. So yeah, we're doing okay. No, a bit more money wouldn't go amiss, but nothing we can do about that really. It's just the price of everything keeps going up and up and up. I guess at some point the kids will probably move out, and then I'll probably have to clear out a lot of crap from here, and then Mary can move in here. And then we'll be better off. Although whether we last after that, I don't know, because I'm probably not good to live with. I know I'm not good to live with, because I don't like living with me. It's because I've spent 30 years living on my own, so it would be a big adjustment. Oh, oh. Was a tablet pinging, but not the phone. How about just me and Chris? Don't need a new man in my space. What about an old man? No. You've got your. We decided we weren't going to call it a lady cave. Craft room. That's what we were going with, weren't it? So yeah. Yeah. You can just flirt with random strangers at the gym instead. Not that I'd ever go to the gym. You'll be a grandma, Nana Marriott. Oh, congratulations and commiserations. Because there's one thing that's guaranteed to make you feel old. It's becoming a grandparent. Not that I am, but probably not too long. But yes, congrats. Oh, you have a little baby to cuddle, and all sorts of things to craftify for the baby when it's born. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure how I would react if Adam or Nadine were going to have a kid. It probably wouldn't affect me too much, if at all. Probably never even see it. But yeah, I'm thinking it'd probably affect Mary quite heavily. And for all I know, I am a grandfather. I mean, there's those years that I don't remember where I could quite easily have had children. But if I did, they're all over 18 now and not my problem. But yes, congratulations, Mary, on becoming another grandmama. Someone else to teach all about fish tanks. And would you rather it be a girl or a boy? That is the question. I'm trying to think what I'd rather have. Just healthy, that's all you want, yeah. Healthy, yeah, that's the main thing, I suppose. Um, I don't know whether a girl or a boy would be less trouble as they grew up. I mean, as a grandparent, you don't really get the grief. Yeah, the rest isn't important. Oh, pardon me. Oh, and again. Oh, that's what I get for eating a vegan microwave meal, isn't it? It wasn't good. Well, I mean, I say that it weren't horrifically bad. It would have been better if they'd had like tofu chunks in there or soy whatever fake meat chunks. But it was aubergine instead, or eggplant if you're American. Oh, but then I paid 10p for it in the reduced section, so I'm not going to complain. The rice was okay and the masala sauce was okay. It was just the aubergine was foul. And ever since I've had bad wind. And it's not because it was spicy, it's because it had vegetables in it. And anything else new? Oh, that's the point. I've got to remember to put my new calendar up. Might do that tomorrow. Got all the water changes to do. I should be able to get that done fairly rapidly because I should say that I was done Saturday last week, so there've been a lot longer between them. So the filters are going to be really manky. Oh well. Oh, bless it. Bless your poor old girl. Zaki boy, keep an eye out. You know what to do. I'm sure he's already said hello and introduced himself. Said, hello, I are Zach. I are Thwen. And then just completely ignored everyone. Oh, yeah. She had a good life for a putty cat. 17's not young. I think Zach was about 14. But yeah, that wasn't natural causes, let's put it that way. Sparky, was she? She was 24. But by the time she went, she was blind, deaf, well, half blind, stone deaf, no teeth, no claws, massive tumor on her neck. But I still do see her from time to time. Have you had any visits from your cat since she gone? Has she been coming to say hello? But you got your new cat as well, so you're still getting floofy snuggles. That's the important thing. Oh, exactly. See, cats don't leave. They stay around their favourite human. So when I see Sparky, she's where she liked to be, sitting under her bush, just watching the world go by. It's one of those where you sort of see her out the corner of your eye. When you look, she's not there. The other cats, Pumpkin's got a lot friendlier now. Fusses are allowed, even the occasional cuddle. We even get purrs now as well. Yeah, she's, bless her, she's in pain. Fat cat is getting friendlier. Ginger's just Ginge. There's another one I've made friends with. I've called Tripod because he's only got 3 legs. You know, it doesn't feel like he had a leg amputated because there's no obvious scarring, and there's nothing. He's not even got the. Yeah, of course you miss her. We all miss our floofy friends. Yeah, it's always good to sit under a bush, Jeff. With any luck, it'll rain on you as well. Yeah, we always miss our floofy friends. If anything, it's worse that they come and visit because then you're reminded of them. But you don't complain about it because it's your floofy friend coming to say hello, let you know they're okay. In Zach's case, it's usually rub around my legs when I've got either chips or a bacon sandwich, or jumps up on the bed to sleep, and if my feet are in the wrong place, he still nips my toes to make me move my feet so he can lay in his place, which I'm perfectly happy to do. So there's been scientific studies that cats somehow know when we're ill and what is wrong, and they snuggle against the bit that's not working properly, shall we say, and apparently their purrs are a healing. Their purrs have healing properties. They're at a certain frequency or something, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it kind of makes sense because if I had IBS flare up, Zach would snuggle my belly. If I had a bad headache or was down, he would snuggle my head. Blew my knee out, he snuggled my knee, that kind of thing. When I farted on him, he turned around and farted in my face. Yeah, they are. We all love our floofy friends. Even the ones like that's how I walk the neighbour's dog now 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah, I mean she's still middle age. She's 9. That's how I've known her since she was a pup. Ginger and Pumpkin, same. I've known them for years. So if they're suddenly not around anymore, I'll notice. I'll miss my floofy friends. I do get plenty of dogs coming to the shop at work, so I do still get plenty of doggo and occasional bun fusses. When Teddy gets brought in after his trip to the vets, he has his treats and his fuss, and he feels a lot better about life afterwards. Yeah. There are plenty of dogs that look forward to their trip to Screwfix because they know they're going to get fusses and treats. I don't know if that's every branch, but we certainly do. We've got an old pug called Bella who comes in. She's a typical pug, but she's lovely. You just have to be very careful when you give her a treats that you basically throw them into her mouth, because otherwise you might lose a finger. And they're honking great piles of floof. And massive dogs. We've got a mastiff that comes in, Russian bear dog. Was it another charker? And other ones like the greyhounds are so gentle and delicate when they take their treats. And then you got Bella, the little pug, who's constantly got her tongue hanging out the side of her mouth. Damn near takes your fingers off every time you try and give her a treat. She's just a little potato, really. Then there's Bear, the toy Pomeranian, who I'm sure if he shaved would be about the size of a hamster. We even get bought chocolates at Christmas and whatever by the dogs. No, Bear's not big enough to be a rat. Full grown and sits in your hand. That small. Yeah, he's definitely a hamster. Underneath, I mean, he is probably 95% fur. So you poke him and your finger sinks all the way in. And you're like, okay, there's a dog in there somewhere. He's super friendly. Well, to me, certain people he doesn't like. So his owner always put him on the counter and leave him there. And he'd come over and have a fuss and a snuggle with me. Hey, they know their own kind. Yeah. Floofy friends, best friends. I'm still not sure whether I prefer cats or dogs. Cats take a lot less looking after. Hey there, Raina. Oh, now it's off. I'm guessing probably gone to the loo. Hope weather's not too evil where you are, Raina. It's been pretty nasty around here, but we can deal with it. You know, blitz spirit and everything, he says. There was going, whoa, I can't get out. Oh no, what will I do without my triple latte mocha frappuccino? Dude, it's freezing cold. You want a hot coffee, not a cold one. Let's say today's highlight, because me and Mary did go out to stores. She got more straw and Timothy hay for latte, and I got a new dish strainer for the kitchen. That's what the highlight of the day, other than obviously seeing Mary. Thinking of ordering a new 72 volt LiPo for battery for a double cap. That's a lot of volts. You don't want to check that's charged by putting your tongue across the terminals. I'll tell you that much. 900, yeah, basically €1,000. But they take the penny off to make it feel like it's less. Just make it around 1,000. It just makes life easier. Or around pound or 150 or whatever. Tenner. Just make life easier for everyone. I mean, if nothing else, it would just make the bloody paperwork easier. Plus €10 shipping. Oh, you think for that much they give you free shipping? Come on. Yeah, it's still a thing. Free shipping. You have, yeah, mind you, it's normally about 50. Normally about 50, and you get free shipping, isn't it? Whatever it is, but then a 72-volt battery is going to be very heavy. Probably going to turn up on a pallet rather than in a post van. So the shipping's probably free. You're just paying for the packaging to hold the bloody thing. Right, got to do a quick runner. Back in a couple. Oof. That's better. That's better. 20 kilo, but no charger included. 20k ain't too bad. It probably classed as a two-person carry these days. Generally the looks I get when I start carrying around 30 odd kilo rads, or radiators, or walls, heating at work. And it says, caution, heavy item, two-person lift. And I'm like, that's not heavy. Awkward, it's not heavy. I think it's somewhat, is 15? I think is anything above 20 kilo is now classified as a two-person lift. Nah. I may not have much of an ego, but the day I can't lift something that weighs 20 kilo is the day I rethink my life choices as to whether I live. Yeah, extra 50, 60k extra range. That's probably worth it, I think. Especially there's places you want to go that are 20k further away. And also having the extra sort of, just that little bit extra for safety, for Justin, as I put it, for just in case. And the lead battery is over 100 kilo. Yeah. Yeah, will be. Although the lead, when you pull that battery apart, is probably going to be worth more than the lithium is in a lithium battery, if the lithium doesn't go up in flames the moment you open it up. There are actually companies nowadays that do that, where you in the same range. Yeah, probably better performance because it's 80 kilo lighter. It's like not having me in there. LiFePO 4 is the safer one. Yeah. So yeah, there are companies now that basically what they do is they pull apart the old lead acid car batteries and pull the lead out of them and recycle it, because there's enough money in it. Just still kind of weird to me that we haven't started putting lithium batteries in cars, petrol engine, diesel engine cars. It'll be a lot lighter. And I know lithiums don't like getting cold. There is that. They don't like being below freezing, but then neither do lead acid either, because the acid tends to freeze. Had that before on my motorbike. But why the hell won't it start? Why aren't any of the lights on? Oh, the battery must be flat. Ain't just like a LiPo battery. Like your model cars, they burn. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Which is why the LiPo batteries for my RC cars are stored in a fireproof container. And it's actually a rule that you have to go by at any race meeting, is all batteries must be stored in a fireproof container. Oh, pardon me. I mean, generally, as long as you keep a part charging them, they're safe to leave around. It's generally when LiPos get overcharged or go completely flat, they tend to go woof. Yeah, so if they get down to 0 volts, that's when you have problems. Not only will they not recharge, unless you've got a serious battery charger, well, which I don't mean one that just dumps loads of current in. Howdy, Quirky. Or if the BMS doesn't balance the cells, yeah. Yeah, if it's, yeah, you gotta have a balancer. Yeah, don't crash or drop the RC LiPo. Yeah, mine are all got a casing on them. And the charger I've got is ridiculous. It's probably more powerful than my old laptop was. The amount of leads coming out of it for all the various different kinds of cells and balancing and God knows what. Basically, it's a fully programmable charger, so even if the LiPo is at 0 volts, you can still bring it back from the dead, as it were. And how I've been balancing cells since I was using NiCads in RC cars. That's why we used to buy the expensive ones, because they were balanced. So all the cells had basically the same numbers, which meant you had a better pack overall. But that was back in the days of 1700 SCRC cells. So you weren't running it with the gearing for getting it as fast as you can or the best lap time, you're running the gearing or the motor where it would last a 5 minute and a lap race distance before it died. Nowadays, with LiPo batteries in RC cars, yeah, power's not a problem. I forget what the ones I've got are. They're like 5,000 milliamp or something ridiculous. I'll get bored before the battery dies. I suppose it's like most things. Most people use it. It's a battery. You charge it. It discharges. You recharge it. When you do a hobby where battery voltages and power are extremely important, you get very nerdy about battery specs and ways to charge them and discharge them. Same with building the scale models. You learn all about the paint chemistries, about what you can put on what and what you can mix with what. And just because it says water-based, it doesn't mean you got to thin it with water. Some of them you can thin with alcohol, some you can thin with lacquer. Others, the moment lacquer touches them, they solidify and turn into a solid ball of snot in the airbrush. Ask me how I know that one. Yeah, you don't want to be cleaning that out of an airbrush. It's not fun. It's like a lot of, well, most things. The deeper you get into it, the more there is to learn. Like fish keeping. The basic nitrogen cycle. Fish goes through toilet, bacteria turn that into nitrate, other bacteria turn that into nitrite, other bacteria turn that into nitrate. Then you do a water change to take the nitrate out, or plants consume it or whatever. Then you look into it deeper, and there's a lot more to it. I'm having 2 batteries and generator recharging the LiPo backup while driving on the lead batteries. Yeah, and you swap the batteries over when one dies. Good plan. I would think finding some that will charge 72 volts isn't going to be cheap. Don't actually know what the maximum charge rate of my RC car charger goes up to. I think it does 30. There must be something around. But then again, that charger probably costs more than most batteries do. What did I pay for it? I paid $250 for it about a decade ago. And then it doesn't run off the mains, so I had to get a converter or power pack. You plug that into the mains, then you plug that into the charger, and then use that to charge the batteries. Need 50k extra range one way and no charger on the country roads. That is the thing. That is the thing with electric vehicles. And it will improve as time goes by. As more and more people are using electric, there will be more and more charging stations. But it's whether they're where you need them and whether any of them are actually free when you get there. Because it's not like a petrol pump where it takes maybe 5 minutes most to fill your tank. Even with the fast charging these days, it's not going to take long for queues to start forming, or for idiots to start cutting cables. And That's something I have seen happen a few times over here, or I've seen on the news about it happening, where people have been charging their cars overnight outside their house, and someone's either come along and pulled the charger out or cut the cable because they don't agree with it. A gas generator. Yeah, hybrid, exactly. That's all most hybrids are, isn't it? They're a petrol car with a bit of a battery in there, just to say it's a hybrid. And you usually get the worst of both worlds. Although, again, things are improving due to racing, and not just F1, mostly things like the endurance racing, with the hypercars, most of them are now hybrid. And they had a moment of sensibility. So basically, they're limited to 750 horsepower, but it's how they make that power. So as long as you're not exceeding that power, you can use a petrol engine or electric or whatever, fart powered. And that's measured constantly at the axles with the torque sensor. And then they have an energy requirement. So if they use too much energy, then they get in trouble. If they use too little, well, no one's going to complain about that because they're not going to be very fast. Yeah, very complicated systems in those hybrid prototypes. There was talk about bringing it into the LMP2 category, but the cost of it is what was putting people off. It won't be too long till the GT3s are hybrids as well, because most of the road car versions are. I guess tuk-tuk race. Yeah, I mean, tuk-tuk racing is always funny. This one I saw was a tuk-tuk with an R1 engine in it. Just popping wheelies everywhere. I think WEC didn't go to Hungaroring. I think the European Le Mans series did. That would be a good one to go and see. Certainly more interesting than Formula One. I was having a chat with a young colleague at work the other week about. Yes, I do. Because he's a huge F1 fan. So I was trying to point out that if they wanted to make F1 more interesting, what they should do is have F1, F2, and F3 on track at the same time in the same race. 3 separate categories. He was like, no, because that'd be really dangerous. That'd be really dangerous. No, you can't do that. Why not? They can do it with prototypes in 3 classes and GT cars on the same tracks. Why can't they do it with open wheelers? They're supposed to be the best drivers in the world. I mean, I still say they should change the blue flag rules in Formula One to how they used to be, or how they are for every other form of motorsport. One gets equipped with snowplow tractor tires. Yes. In Formula One, a blue flag means you are about to be lapped. Jump out of the way as quickly as possible. In every other form of motorsport, a blue flag is to warn you that there is a faster car approaching, and it's then up to that faster car to get past you. I mean, I think the actual rule in the endurance is that the slower car stays on its racing line. and the faster car has to go around. And so my colleague was going, yeah, but then it'll slow you down. You might get stuck behind someone for a couple of corners. Yeah, and so will the person behind you and the person behind them. And also stop going at bloody safety cars every 5 seconds and red flags just because someone had a minor accident. What I would like to see, I would like to see F1 drivers doing the Nürburgring 24-hour, because there are no safety cars. Yeah. There are no full course yellows. There's no virtual safety car. Instead, like with Le Mans, you get slow zones. So if there's been an incident, it's like, right, marshals are sorting this out, and that section of track will be limited to 60 or 80 kilometers an hour, and everyone abides by it. Oh, I got me a 50 km/h version. And they're like, huh. So racing drivers can actually obey flags. Yeah. And they know they have to, because there could well be a flatbed lorry around the next corner, or a bunch of safety vehicles, or people on the track clearing up the last accident. Safety cars don't work when the track's 13 miles long. Yeah, but that's my plan for making Formula One more interesting. Stop faffing about with silly overtaking flaps and all this other stuff. Just put all 3 classes on track at the same time and make the races last 4 hours, and limit their tyre supply as well, and have multiple drivers. That would be fun. Watching a driver change happen in an F1 pit stop. Yeah, and limit the amount of people involved in the pit stop to 3 rather than 28 or whatever it is these days. It would, yeah, Marek, you got to admit, it would be funny, because there would be certain drivers that would be like, ah, right, yeah, okay, got it, cool. And others, it would just melt their brain that the car has to be set up for all 3 drivers in the team. And if you frag your tyres, you're not getting a new set. Yeah, Max would probably be fine with it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Max Verstappen got peed off with F1 and moved over to endurance racing. Same way that Fernando Alonso did. Same way that Brendan Hartley has. There's a whole bunch of former F1 drivers in there. Even Jenson Button's driving GT cars these days because he enjoys it. It's more fun racing. Even if you're in the bottom class, the GT3s, it's still close racing and carnage. 25 is a bit slow on a hill, 745, you've got 2,000. Yeah. I'll be quite happy going up a hill at 25 kilometers an hour on my bike. Bit scary when you're going down a hill at 25 mile an hour and you don't know what's at the bottom of the hill. And you're going, I really should be slowing down now. Chances are there's going to be an uphill and I'm in a really high gear, or there's going to be a blind corner and I'm going to hit it really too fast and end up in a ditch, or a hedge, which is basically most of the country lanes around here. Just sudden 90-degree bends or 180-degree bend with no warning. It's just there. You've got honking great hedges either side, so you can't see where you're going. Just makes it more fun. Plus, the other fun thing with the endurance racing, you get women drivers, and they're not just there to make the numbers up or to look, we have a lady. They actually win. Look up the Iron Dames, which is actually the team I support the most, because it is an all-woman team. 3 female drivers, most of the mechanics are female. And yeah, they kick butt. Well, no, sometimes they don't, but there's something for a bright pink Lamborghini or Ferrari or Porsche going around the track. It just stands out. Amongst, let's be honest, a lot of racing cars, they look very similar. And when they keep using very similar colour schemes, you sort of struggle to tell which one's which sometimes. Now, there'll be a, oh, we're going to make them white. Or then they go blue and white, and then they go red and white. And especially in a control class where all the cars are the same, like LMP2. No, give it a different colour scheme. Make it stand out. But yeah, GT racing is just so much more fun. And so much friendlier as well. The teams help each other out. What's that? You need a new front balance. Hang on, we've got a spare one. And give it to them. Help the other team rebuild the car after it's been crashed. That kind of thing goes on. And technologically, they're no worse. The hypercars are. Swap the batteries, they're the same cars. I mean, all the LMP2 cars are Orica 07s. It's a bloody good car, don't get me wrong. But the ones that get the most fans or followers are the ones with the different colour schemes. So used to have Jumbo, if you're not from the Netherlands. Their cars used to be bright yellow with Jumbo written down the side. Stands out. Good. You get Euro International. Was it Euro Interpol? Euro Interpol. The racing bakers, because it's basically owned by Polish bakery. Their cars are yellow and green. I mean, obviously very yellow and very green. So they stand out. So it's easier to follow them on the track. You're not looking for which colour wing mirror surround they've got, or what colour windscreen strip, or some stupid tiny difference that you can't tell. The Jota team, when they were in LMP2, it was a running joke with the commentators that you can't tell the difference between the cars. They'd be like, no, you can, because this one's got red mirrors and this one's got green mirrors. Like, yeah, then they get the mirrors knocked off and you still can't tell which one's which. But the commentators were making the jokes, and then the team was trolling the commentators. Yeah, that kind of sense of fun going on in the series. Hey, what other series do you get royalty competing as well? And I don't just mean, I mean, there are Bahraini royals, Qatari, Saudi, the Austrian Crown Prince, Ferdi Habsburg is an LMP2 racer and a Le Mans champion. And I'm not going to, I don't know his whole name. It's about 8 miles long. I think it is swing tuck tuck painted with hypershift pearl over the green. Yeah. Have I got anything painted in a flip colour? Only the Eldar Knight, and that doesn't really. That goes from like purplish to bluish, and it's quite old, so it doesn't really change. Yeah, I've got flip paints and iridescent paints and stuff for the models and the miniatures when I use them, which I don't anymore, really. Well, I did finish building the Gundam I got myself for Christmas this week, so there's that. It was a fairly simple one. I didn't want to get a really complicated, complex one. Not because I can't build it, because I know I can. It's more that I didn't want anything too in depth and too brain melting, especially with my eyesight at the moment. Because I mean, I can read the chat on the screen quite happily from here, but if I get any closer, it's a complete blur, which tells me I need new glasses. Let's grab the Gundam. God damn it. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was building. Yeah. All articulated moves and yeah, just a bit of fun, something to put together. Minimal tools required, literally a spare pair of sprue clippers and a sanding stick, which I already had sitting about because I use it for my fingernails. Which reminds me, I've got to sand that one down a bit as well. Oh, camera's done that. I'm not going to focus anymore thing. Yeah, picture quality like the old laptop. Some days it does it, sometimes it doesn't. There we go, we have focus again. Ugh. And because I touched the camera and moved it, there we go. And it's gone out of focus again. Yay! Because it decided it wants to focus on my arm. And I did turn autofocus off, but it's obviously turned itself back on again. Yeah, we're kind of in focus there, aren't we? No, we're not. Who am I kidding? It bugs me when things are out of focus. Come on. Have we refocused again? There we go. Yeah, so pigment shift or color flip colors are getting nuts. There's so many different flips and multiple flips, and I remember when the first ones came out and everyone was like, wow. I mean, although I think the thing I've seen that's coolest recently is the like not rainbow, petrol anodizing, where basically you get the full spectrum on the part. Looks very cool. Also thinking about getting a roll cage. Yes, I know you can detect my phone. No, I don't want to. Roll cage, bucket seat and harness. I don't know why, but since I rolled the last one, I want a bit more safety. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Tuk-tuks aren't necessarily the most well-built machines in the world. Yeah, bit of a roll cage and at least a decent harness to hold you in if you do roll it again. Our equivalent was the Reliant Robin, which is a three-wheeled car that if you welded a plate over the reverse so you couldn't select reverse on the gear shift, you could drive it on a motorbike license because it was technically a trike then. If you locked out the reverse, it became a trike. And here's where I realise I've got no backy left in my backy tin. Oh well, never mind. Well, maybe there is. I've just got a lot of filters in here. Actually, that's another thing. I've got to get a new backy tin. Or just clean this one. I've had it donkey's years, so it's probably been beaten and bent and buckled too many times. I think it's actually nearly worn through in places. Oh no, Chinesium. Easy to weld, but easier to bend. Yes. Good old Chinesium. Yeah. Basically cheap pot metal. Not what you'd call a high quality, high carbon steel. Not far off pig iron. So we won't put the chromium in there because that costs a lot of money, so we'll leave that out. What alloys can we add to it to make it weaker? Which kind of sensible when you think about it. Just, bends easily. Bloody camera. I didn't even get that close this time. Oh, we ain't got long to go now. And I am getting hungry, so basically I'll finish this ciggy and call it a day. Stainless free rust iron. Yeah. Whatever they get from the ships, the old container ships and whatever, they break apart in the salvage yards on the beach. Is that Bangladesh, India? There's probably some in China as well. Because all that steel gets reused, it's just not reused in high quality versions. It used to be that all the armor from the battleships used to get reused for random things. Yeah, we're focused again now. So you get like milling machines that were made out of the armour from an old Royal Navy warship. And that's the best quality steel you're ever going to find. Absolute nightmare to work with, but ain't going to fall apart anytime soon. But now nobody builds heavily armoured warships anymore. Kind of thankful for that. That we don't need heavily armoured warships anymore. But that's mostly because modern weaponry, the thickness of armour you'd need, it should be ridiculous. When even World War II, I was running 18 inches of armour on some things. It's 18 inches of hardened solid steel. I don't think anyone, the technology is probably not around to be able to build a battleship anymore. Not that it'd be any use. But it does make me wonder, if aircraft carriers hadn't become a thing and missiles hadn't become a thing, what would battleships be like these days? How big, how heavily armoured, how big would the guns be, how fast would they be? I think even back in the 1940s, 80 years ago, there were battleships that could do 40 miles an hour and weighed 45,000 tons. So you've got to think these days they would be nuclear powered. Yeah, that's the next way it's going to go. Drone carriers. So literally the aircraft carrier will be about the size of a World War II destroyer. With a bunch of nerds in the command center. Basically just a bunch of gamers. Instead of the rum ration, it'd be the Cheetos ration. Mountain Dew and Cheetos rather than rum and ice cream. Sort my socks out. I think I'm going to end things a little bit early today because I am bloody hungry. So thank you to everyone for being here. Good to see you all. Hope you all have a good week. Stay safe. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. And bye-bye. And that time it stayed in focus. See you later. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do.